Hello and welcome to my redesign. I am redesigning a full curriculum to meet the needs of my students in gaining employment skills. All of my students are 18 or between 18 and 21 years old, and their main goal in my class is to develop skills to get them ready for the workforce after high school. So I've chosen to use a curriculum called Next Up, and in front of you right now is what my end goal is. My end goal is to build a video resume for my students to use while they're still in my class, but also more importantly after they get out when they're trying to find more jobs. So this is kind of the end product. This is what we're going to work with, and it's our guideline. I tried to use a little bit of gamification with a point system here on the left side. The students are able to earn points in each different section and each different phase. Phase 1, using your Chromebook video camera to introduce yourself. And then I attached a script that the students can use. Now, the students can write their own script, but if they don't have the ability or they're more comfortable with something set, I have something in here that they can just insert their name and their information and read it off to the video camera. Stage 2 is using the camera tool to take a picture of your smiling face. Okay, and I have a link here on how to take pictures. It's a YouTube video that shows them how to use the camera function and take a picture of themselves for this stage. Each of these phases is aligned with the ISTE standards, 1C and 2B, as well as 6D and 7A. Publishing content, mock interviews for 7A is later, but 1C and 2B, they maybe are loosely related, but for my life skills students, I feel like they make a connection to those. Into phase 2, we talk about work experience. Again, they're using a webcam to record themselves and document that for their video resume. Real life examples will be a teacher or one of my aides taking video of the students doing work around the school or at one of their temporary jobs that they hold a couple days a week here at the, outside of the high school in Pekin, Illinois. I also want to building a paper copy of a resume just to have. I know video resumes are cool, and it's also going to help some of my nonverbal students show what they can do, but having a physical paper copy is very, very important. So I have a link to a resume template that they can add their names in and their information. Again, many of them, if not all of them, will need a lot of assistance in this from me or my classroom aides, but it's a step in the right direction in terms of independence and having them build their own future. Phase 3, completing a mock interview with a teacher. I'm in talks with my school right now to get a membership or at least a one-year deal with Interview Stream, where my students can get on here and interview with an employer, somebody else. They're connecting through the computer with somebody else. And again, it's a mock interview. It's something that they can practice the things that we're going through in our curriculum. Stage 7 is finding a job opening. I want them to search out and find something for themselves. And then also sending your resume to a job. So, we talk about addressing an envelope and a lot of different things. So we're combining a lot of technology with something that's going to help them in the future. So I think it's really the best of both worlds. The curriculum that we're going to use is called Next Up. And I've showed a couple videos of Next Up throughout the semester, but it has videos and lessons on a lot of different things. And we're kind of going to start at the goal setting area. We're going to set goals of where they want to be in terms of their employment. Next up, we have resumes and where to find a job. Okay, this is going to be very important for introducing the resumes and what our big project is. And as we go through, there's a lot of different topics that get covered. Network and using social media. Using an employment portfolio, which is kind of what we're building. An application overview. Picking up and turning in applications. Filling out sections of the job application, so what to put where. Interviewing and body language, which will help in those mock interviews. Preparing for job interviews. common interview questions. So all of these things and all of these lessons that we're going to go through are helping to prepare my students for that interview, building a resume. It's building us up until we can create our final product, our video resume, and really past the video resume, building us up to be ready for the workforce. And like I said, some of my students are going to work in 40-hour-a-week jobs. Others may work 2 hours a week in a sheltered workshop. But I want to make sure each one is as prepared as they can be. Looking a little more closely at one of the lessons specifically, I have my lesson number 4 here on resumes and where to find a job. In order to personalize this a little bit, I've created something, I've used something called Insert Learning. Insert Learning is a Google Chrome app that you can insert questions and videos into your lesson. So I inserted a welcome video. Good morning. Good to see you again. Excited to dive into this week's Next Up video. Last week we talked about goal. Okay, and I talk about goals and what we're going to build in this resume. Okay, after my video, there's an actual video from our Next Up representative. It's 19 minutes long, but it has a lot of really good stuff. I then ask a question about the 746 mark and the definition of a resume. So, as they're watching, they can know, they can look at the resume, and that can help your chance 740 look like a resume. 746 mark.
A resume is a formal presentation
it asks about a definition.
Of a job applicant's education.
They can use the two choices to decide which one makes sense. I can add as many questions as I want. I'm going to stick to just a couple or even one with a lot of my students because of their level of their reading ability and their ability to answer questions. Down farther, we have other things that we can use for my higher functioning students. One of those is something they can follow along with during the video, and they can circle the right choice. There is a fill in the blank option to this, but most of my students need an option or 2 or 3 to choose from. So it's something they can follow along using the video, and also something the aides in the classroom can use to help follow along with the video as well. Again, all of this stuff is designed and has a goal of helping us with this video resume challenge. Using this to create, I think we'll create something really fun for the students, using Chromebooks, getting more familiar with computers, interacting with others, and again, gaining skills to really fit themselves perfectly into their workforce.